Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing today? Welcome or welcome back to the lesson 9 Writing Project Documentation. What exactly are you going to learn today? You will learn core vocabulary for writing intermediate project documentation, 10 key vocabulary words with phonetics, some grammar structures, passive voice, imperative and formal structures, how to write a project scope section, a RASI note, and a decision log entry. And as always, you can find this worksheet and much more useful content in our Telegram channel and other social media. Let's go. Scope document. A document defining what a project will and will not include. The scope document was approved by the client on Monday. Charter. A formal document authorizing a project and defining its objectives. The project charter names the sponsor and the budget. RACI. A chart showing who is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. According to the races, a PM is accountable for delivery. Decision log. A record of key decisions made during the project with dates and owners. This choice was recorded in the decision log on 3rd March. Assumption. Something accepted as true for planning purposes without proof. Our key assumption is that the client will provide content on time. Constraint. A limitation that restricts what a project can do. The main constraint is a fixed budget of $50,000. Dependency. A task or item that relies on another task being completed first. Testing has a dependency on the staging environment being ready. Glossary. A list of terms and their definitions usually at the end of a document. Check the glossary if you're unsure what CR means. Version. A numbered edition of a document tracking changes over time. This is the version 3 of the scope document. Approve. To formally accept and authorize a document. The sponsor approved the charter last week. Let's discuss a little pro tip. Good project documentation is born on purpose. Use short sentences, the passive voice for facts, and the imperative for instructions. Save the storytelling for presentations, not documents. And let's go grammar, passive, imperative, and formal structures. Let's discuss some structures. Passive for describing project facts. The scope document has been approved by the sponsor. Yep, how do we create passive voice? If you don't remember, you can look up previous videos from this course, and I've been talking about it. Yep. So, the scope document has been approved by the sponsor. 3 assumptions were recorded in the charter. All decisions are logged in the decision log. Imperative for instructions in documents. Imperative is a wonderful topic. You just basically use the verb in the beginning form in the most basic form that is possible for it. So just simply refer to the glossary for definitions of technical terms. See Appendix A for the full RACI chart. Do not begin development until the scope is signed off. Formal structures for scope statements. The project will deliver the following items out of scope. It is assumed that. Why not? Some key phrases for documentation: defining scope, recording decision, and noting limits. Defining scope. The project will deliver. Out of scope for this phase, it is assumed that. Recording decisions. This decision was made on. The rationale for this way was recorded by or approved by. Noting limits. The main constraint is this task has a dependency on. Assumptions are listed in section 2. Let's read model scope section and analyze it. First, project scope. This project will deliver a redesigned customer portal, including a new login flow, dashboard, and support ticket system. The mobile app is out of scope for this phase and will be addressed separately in quarter 3. It is assumed that the client will provide final branding assets by 15th of March. If this assumption proves incorrect, the timeline in section 4 will need to be revised. Constraints. The main constraint is a fixed budget of $80,000 and a hard deadline of 30th June, driven by marketing campaign launch. Dependencies. The support ticket system has a dependency on the new CRM integration, which is being delivered by a separate team. See the RACI chart in Appendix B for role ownership and refer to the glossary in Appendix C for all technical terms used in this document. This is version 2 of the scope document approved by the project sponsor on 10th of February. Let's notice clear numbered structure: scope, assumptions, constraints, dependencies. Passive voice is assumed approved by sponsor. Imperative, see the RACI chart, refer to the glossary. Version control stated explicitly at the end. Let's watch out for some common mistakes. The document approved by sponsor. The document was approved by sponsor. Passive needs was were article and also article, yeah, by the sponsor. Please to see Appendix A. See Appendix A. We do not use please to in imperative forms. We assume that client provide content. It is assumed, passive voice, that the client will provide content. Pay attention to the tense usage. This is depend on the CRM team. This has a dependency on the CRM team. Depend on is a verb, dependency is a noun. In documentation, we mostly opt for nouns, not verbs. Mobile app is out of scope. Is out scope. Is out of scope. Yes? Wonderful, wonderful. Take your time, pause the video, complete this task. I'm giving you a few seconds to do that and come back and we will discuss it. Let's go. So, this is version 2 of the scope document. The mobile app is out of scope for this phase. It is assumed, right? Testing has a dependency. See the RACI chart for role ownership. Wonderful, wonderful. Great job. Let's go on to the next one. Speaking challenge. Present your project scope. Can you describe a project scope, assumptions, and constraints in 90 seconds? Here is a little structure that you may use and some requirements that you may follow. And question for the comments. Name one assumption and one constraint from a project you have worked on. Write 2-3 sentences using at least 3 words from today's lesson. Alright. And when it comes to workbook, you can get the workbook in Telegram. Well, and what can I say? Thank you so much for coming to this lesson. And I suppose I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye.